This property report is powered by realestate.com.au. Know the value of your home today. Track your property now.
To property now, and the city skippers who, during the pandemic, have reassessed their lifestyles and as a result have helped to drive a regional renaissance. Joining me now live from realestate.com.au is John Healy. John, good afternoon. This trend has seen regional house prices rise at their fastest rate in at least 35 years.
Yeah, that's right. Australia's regional house prices have grown almost 30% in the 12 months to September, their fastest rate in more than 3 decades. And that's been driven largely by many regional areas around the country seeing buyer demand more than double in that time period, while the supply of properties for sale have hovered around record lows in many areas. And this shift in general has been driven by buyers' preference for more space, larger homes, a better lifestyle, and has been enabled by the fact that people have been able to work more remotely during the pandemic. And the PropTrack Regional Australia report this week revealed that it is those suburbs that are within that 1 to 2 hour commute of capital cities that have again proved to be the most popular. Overall, suburbs on the Gold and Sunshine coasts in Queensland were the most in demand with serious buyers over the past 12 months. And those 6 of the top 10 suburbs with those most serious buyers, where they really outstrip supply, were found to be in Wollongong, which is just over an hour south of Sydney, and the suburb of Bulli there topped that list. But the question now is, can this regional renaissance continue as the country continues to open up? And while migration into regional areas is expected to remain high for some time, it's also likely that that will ease slightly and come back to more average levels. And similarly, property prices in regional areas, they're also expected to continue to rise, but will likely moderate from the current levels.
And from the regions to the cities now, and as we enter the final weekend of the traditional spring selling season, how are auction numbers looking?
Well, market activity is expected to be really strong right up to Christmas, but as we come into the final traditional weekend of the spring selling season, there are some very big numbers of homes going to auction this weekend. Nearly 4,000 homes nationally are expected to go under the hammer around Australia this weekend. That's up nearly 130% on auction numbers around the country at this time last year, as sellers really do make up for lost time. And that's good news for buyers around Sydney, Melbourne and the ACT, who have been really limited for choice for many months of this year. Sydney, they're expecting just over 1,100 homes to go under the hammer this weekend. That's actually double the amount of properties that went to auction in Sydney this time last year. Melbourne, another big weekend there, more than 1,600 properties set to go to market as Melbourne continues a very strong end to that traditional spring selling season, and which is great news for buyers there. The suburb of Glen Waverley this week is the hotspot in Melbourne, with 26 homes scheduled to go to market in that suburb alone. And Adelaide has some big numbers as well, 275 auctions scheduled in that market, which is up nearly 180% on auction numbers in Adelaide at this time last year.
Yeah, wow, a big weekend ahead by the sounds. A quick look back now, though, at last weekend's auction results. How did those key capital city auction markets perform?
Well, on the auction results available around those key capital city markets, numbers were very strong again. They were flat week on week around Sydney, Canberra and Brisbane. Melbourne, though, which had been trending down for the previous 3 weeks, actually jumped up again about a couple of % to an 84.3% clearance rate, which is a strong result given the amount of properties that are going to auction in Melbourne at the moment. And Adelaide was the other big mover. It jumped up 4% week on week to a 94.6% clearance rate, which is great news for all of those sellers now taking their homes to auction in Adelaide.
And just finally, John, as more properties come to the market, so does the wow factor, of course. Which homes have caught the attention of buyers this week?
Yeah, that's right, Danica. There's some really big wow factor on the list this week and some similarly big wow factor price tags as well. These 5 homes are the most popular this week and they're all sitting on big blocks, all up over the 1,300 square metre mark. And 3 of the top 5 there are homes in suburbs in and around Melbourne. And if we take a closer look now at our 4th most viewed home this week, it's in the Melbourne suburb of Toorak and it's a sensational property. It really is. It's a 5-bedroom, 6-bathroom home on just under 1,800 square metres of property and a price guide beginning at $22 million for this home, which is extraordinary. It comes with every luxury feature you could want. The driveway even has runway-style lights under its pavement to help guide the home, to guide cars up to the property, which has a beautiful Canadian cedar shingle roof, which is really eye-catching, as are all of these features we can see here. There's a pool, a steam room, a gym, even a 900-bottle wine cellar in this home. And this property is on the market under an expressions of interest campaign, which is due to wrap up on the 16th of December. So that could be a very impressive early Christmas present for that lucky buyer, Danica.
Well, certainly. And yeah, you'd be lucky to have a price like that. A place like that, it looks like it is definitely worth that price tag. John Healy, thank you. We'll see you again next week.
Thanks, Danica.